76. Author. Author.
Homer, the author of the Iliad and the Odyssey, was a great epic poet.
Epic.
An epic is a lengthy narrative poem about heroes and adventures. They are building a huge monument of epic scale.
Lengthy.
He submitted a lengthy report on Korean art markets. The book ends with a lengthy description of American history.
Narrative.
It is a moving narrative of a girl looking after her younger brothers. The narrative poem is about Greek mythology.
Poem.
In Ireland, people recite poems at many festivals.
Adventure.
The old sailor set out on his last adventure, crossing the Pacific.
Recite.
Every child must recite the ancient poem before the elders of the tribe.
Amateur.
The games are open to both amateurs and professionals.
Review.
The renowned scientist investigated the nuclear accident and sent his review to the government. The book has received the best reviews in the press. The committee will review all the reports and make the final decision. His novel was reviewed by one of the most famous critics.
Verbal.
The police gave a verbal warning and fired warning shots into the air.
Critic.
The critic criticized the movie by saying that it had too much violence.
Editor.
I thank the editors for enhancing the quality of my book.
Novel.
The novelist wrote a romantic novel. Building a floating apartment on the sea is still a novel idea, but someday it will happen.
Playwright.
A playwright is a person who writes plays for the theater or television.
Gift.
The princess received a lot of expensive wedding gifts. He has a great gift for writing books of various genres.
Look after.
She looked after her old parents and never got married.
Look for.
I am looking for my dog. It has not returned home since last evening.
Look down on.
He looked down on everyone who was poor or weak.
Look into.
Police are looking into the strange case of murder.
Look up to.
Everyone looked up to the tribal leader. He cared for the poor.
Look forward to.
We look forward to meeting you.
Stare.
She stared at him in anger, but didn't say a word. I don't like his stare. He seems to look down on me.
Glance.
She glanced at the clock on the wall at the station. He took a glance at the newspaper headlines.
Glimpse.
She could catch a glimpse of her son when he got on the train. The travelers glimpsed something moving in the woods.
Tribe.
Before the 3 kingdoms were established, various tribes lived in the land.
Clan.
Clans in Clans in Scotland had their own decorative patterns on their clothes.
Kin.
The royal family in Egypt married between close kin to keep their blood pure.
Ethnic.
Various ethnic groups live side by side in Central Asia.
Sibling.
A sibling is one of your brothers or sisters.
Side by side.
The old couple walked side by side between the cheering people.
Cheer.
A great cheer went up when the actress appeared on the stage. Fans cheered loudly when the team came onto the field.
Narrow.
He walked along the narrow street of the old city. Words in context. As a young boy, he read the epics of Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey, and decided to be an author. An epic is a lengthy narrative poem about heroes and adventures. He started to recite his poems in front of a small audience of amateur poets who reviewed each poem together. He also made friends with authors of other genres, such as novelists and playwrights, who said that he had great verbal skills. He published some poems in poetry magazines. Critics praised him as a gifted young poet.
This gave him the opportunity to work with an editor who made improvements on his works and helped him publish his first collection of poems.